Hello everybody and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and welcome back to another Taskmaster challenge. As always, my competitors are Stealth 17 Gaming, Brother Monroe, and the Serious Strategy Gamer. Now, this week's got a very interesting challenge. We've got the year is 1930, the engagement range is 25,000 meters to start, the nation is Admiral's Choice, and the enemy nation is Admiral's Choice. Our forces is one battleship or battle cruiser versus an enemy force of one battleship. It's a very simple task, but it is one that we have never done on Taskmaster. And that is, you design both of your ships. You design the enemy ship and you design your ship. The winner will be chosen based on who was able to sink the enemy ship and had the cheapest ship, or the biggest difference in price between the enemy ship and your ship. So whatever it takes. If you have to be able to sink the ship, but the enemy ship needs to be as expensive as possible, and your ship needs to be as cheap as possible in order to make the biggest gap possible and still sink the ship to give you the best chance of winning. Pretty crazy challenge we have never done, so I'm very interested to see how this plays out. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a very, very interesting challenge, I think. So let's go ahead and start designing. We're going to take the Chinese Empire, because again, we're trying to build cheap, and the German Empire, because we need something massive. Okay, we need something very expensive. So let's go ahead and start. Now, we're going to start by designing the enemy ship first. So we're going to go with the huge battleship here. We're going to take, see, what is this? This reduces it, but I want to be able to sink this thing. So we need to increase its ability to be sunk, but also take its price up as much as possible. And I think the way we're going to do that is with engines. So that is our goal. That is our goal here. Alright, so we're going to have really good trained and spacious crew quarters because that makes the price even more. We're going to go with all of the expensive options that we can. We're not going to give it anti-torpedo because I think we need to actually hit this thing. Or we need to torp this thing. I think that's going to be our way that we win. That doesn't give us much, but it gives him survivability, so we'll leave that. Let's go with Citadel. So that's 1,039,000. Yeah, or 1,039,000,000. Okay. All right, main tower. We got to give him the most modern tower possible. Let's do that. Secondary tower, most modern tower possible. For funnels, let's give him the Uber funnel. And I think it's... Okay, so we can't get that one on there. So it's this one. Beautiful. Alright. Now, we also need to give them all of these things. We gotta have at least main guns, so let's go ahead and make all of these 0. Or at least the smallest that we can. Alright. For main guns, Let's just give him the smallest guns possible, which should be these 9-inch guns. Let's give him single barrels. And let's actually make them side guns. Because we should be able to place these in a position where they can't actually fire at us. And that satisfies the requirement for 2 main guns. Okay? Now, here's where we cheese this thing, okay? Now, obviously, we don't want this thing to have a big beam. Why don't we want it to have a big beam? Because that will protect it against torpedoes, right? So we actually want to pull the beam down. Where we're going to make this thing extremely expensive is actually in its speed. We're going to give it all the speed. So we're going to crank the speed all the way up as much as we can. That's 39 knots it's capable of. And it's 2.7 billion right now. Okay? We still have plenty of weight to play with. So we can make this thing even more expensive. Plus, we got to add like this stuff, which is going to make it slightly more expensive. We're going to add... again, this is going to add resistance and torpedo reduction and flooding chance. So we don't want to do that. We don't want anti-flooding. So we want maximum AP. Okay, that doesn't really change much. That goes from 737 to, or 683 to, yeah. So its AP is slightly more expensive, so we take that. So we'll take that. Even though we don't actually have anything, let's make this as expensive as possible. So 35% cost. Yeah, so that's going to be our most expensive option. And then for the AP, we want the most expensive cost as well. So we'll take that. We want to give them all the shells. And the super heavy shells. And the most expensive powder. And then the most expensive... Yeah, that's definitely going to be the most expensive. Alright. There. And we need electro-hydro turrets and auto-loading. We've given them all the best here. Let's go ahead and drop. Actually, we can have their guns be maxed out because we need to make this thing as expensive as possible. We don't want to give it belt penetration or belt. Let's make it all deck armor. How about that? What is our... We're using the best armor, so let's go with that. All right. That is a $3 billion battleship. Okay? Now, what we've done here, we've essentially made him a sitting deck. There's a sitting duck here. So we've got only 2 guns against us, but we've made this thing extremely expensive. So the goal here, plus we have made him very susceptible to being sunk because he has minimum bulkheads. He has all of the, like worst possible things. He doesn't have anti-flooding. He doesn't have torpedo protection. He has none of that. So we are going to have to try to sink this man. And we've made him even narrower than a normal ship should be. So that also decreases his torpedo protection. So I think we're going to be okay. Now, what if we go with reinforced bulkheads here? That's not going to help us a whole lot. So... yeah. So it looks like we're at $3,070,657,000. Or $3,070,657,000 for the enemy ship. Okay? Now, let's go design our ship. We are going to build a fast battle cruiser with very little armor because we shouldn't be getting shot. And we are going to torp the ever-living crap out of this guy. Or at least that's the thought. So that's the hope. So we don't need a great tower. Like, we don't need anything crazy. So we'll take the cheapest options here. Okay. We don't need anything crazy in terms of funnels. We don't need barbettes and the main guns. We're going to go with centerline 9-inch guns because, I mean, it's all we really need. So we'll take one there, one there. And then for torpedoes, we're going to try to get as many torpedoes as we can on this ship. But we're going to go with centerline torpedoes, which I know is a little weird. Alright, so we got 16 torpedoes there. We need to make these things fast torpedoes. And we need to make them as big as we can. Because we need to have all of the damage. Okay? We need to kill this thing in one decisive strike. Now, is this cheap enough? Okay, we can reduce the beam and the draft. Reduce bulkheads, reduce range, reduce the displacement. We do have to change our main gun here. We'll do something like that. We will have to change this as well. That unfortunately takes us past where we can actually build. That's okay. Torpedoes are cheap. Remember that. And like I said, we need to kill this thing in one decisive strike. That gives us 6 times 4, so 24 torpedoes that are 22 inches in diameter against a ship that has the worst possible setup to protect it against torpedoes. This should be enough to kill it, and we're under 30 million cost. I feel like we could get rid of... Each one of these is like 2 million. Oh, no, it's 1.7 million roughly. You know what? It's worth it to me to actually have these, because if we fail to kill this thing, we lose. We are still extremely cheap. We are under $30 million, and we are against a $3 billion battleship, which is a 10 times advantage to him, supposedly. So I think we're good. Now, the only thing here is we should actually increase speed, because otherwise we're not going to be able to catch him. Because remember, what is he, 39 knots? Yeah, he's capable of 39 knots, so we got to go faster than him. So that's going to increase our cost by a lot, honestly. Which is Not preferable, but it is something that we actually need. Now, our engine efficiency is awful, but again, it doesn't need to be crazy because we're going to spawn in at like maximum speed. This only really hurts us if we slow down, right? Acceleration, torque, and operational range has been reduced. And again, this doesn't really hurt us. He's capable of 39 knots. Technically, all we have to do is be capable of like 41 knots. Right? We'll go 41 knots. That's a 2-knot faster ship, which isn't much, but should allow us to close the distance. And we should be able to get our torpedoes into him and kill him with one strike. If not, we have torpedoes on the other side that we can just flip around and hit him with the other side. But we have the maximum amount of torpedoes that we can drop at one time is, 6 times 4, so 24. But we actually have 3 more sets, so another 12 torpedoes over here if we need them. We don't need anything else, so we don't need anything expensive. We could drop our armor down even more. So if we do this, don't need the armor. Okay. Let's get rid of these as well. Don't need those. So that gets us down to 50.4 million, $50,411,600. And that allows us to close on him, in theory. Yeah, we're not able to actually... That's 650,000. Like, if we get rid of that and go with this... Because we can only have one. That only increases us to 34% from, what was it? 32. So that only gives us 2 extra percent on the engine efficiency. And we're not able to put a second one on here anyway. So this is what we're stuck with. But we should be good. It's got a really bad 4-weight offset because of all the torpedoes. But again, that doesn't matter because we are going to be torping. We do not need to worry about accuracy here. And these weight offsets generally just affect the accuracy of the guns. Torpedoes don't care about accuracy because we're going to be launching these from close. All right, so we've got the Hohot over here versus the Schleswig Holstein. I apologize. Schleswig-Holstein. That's the best I'm giving you guys. I apologize. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. Again, $3,070,657,000 ship versus a $50 million, $411,600 ship. Let's see if we can kill this thing, shall we? Look how tiny we are versus this thing. This thing's massive. But we know it's literally all show and no bark, or no bite. So we should be fine. Let's turn those off. Let's get turning towards them. Speed up time. We're capable of 41 knots, and we are actually doing 41 knots. So we should be able to close the distance, no problem. And he should not be able to shoot us effectively. Like, I don't think he only has 9-inch guns, and he doesn't have any firing angles on those guns. So I don't think he's going to be able to shoot us. That's the thought, anyway. Let's hope I'm right. All right. He's going right to left to right, so we're going to cut him off. He should be coming towards us because battleships in this game versus a battle cruiser, he should come right at us. Plus, we have no armor, so his 9-inch guns probably think that they can go through our armor anyway. What he doesn't realize is that he can't use those guns, and we have the ability to absolutely destroy him. In theory. I have no idea if this is going to work. But in my theory, in my head, it's perfect. That's the way these challenges go, though. Like, in my head, it's the greatest strategy ever devised by mankind. Whether it actually pans out is a whole other ballgame. Still says we're doing 41 knots, so we're good there. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, the acceleration doesn't really matter in this game because you start out at maximum speed anyway. So you would think this thing would slow down coming out of a corner. We just made a very hard turn. But we've got to catch this guy by angle as well. This will help us close the distance. You can see we are faster than him. We are catching up to him. Our guns are officially capable of shooting him now. So there's that. We'll go ahead and shoot AP at him. Oh my god, we actually hit him and got a fire immediately. There's a chance we kill him with the guns. Remember, he doesn't have any armor. Like, we made him fast. We didn't make him, like, you know, thick. He is kind of turning away from us a little bit, which kind of worries me. Again, it's not a speed challenge. We don't have to worry about how fast we have to chase him down. His guns can't shoot us. He is starting to angle away from us, though. And now he's got 9-inch guns capable of hitting us. So that's not preferable. But again, we should be able to catch this man. We're at 8.2 kilometers. He's going to struggle to do any sort of damage to us because even though we don't have any armor, I mean, we still have 6-inch main belt. If he shoots the bow, he could go through, but if he shoots the belt, he's probably not. And now that he's, like, angled directly away, we're going to switch over to HE. It is going to take us time to catch him, but we should be able to reel him in eventually. So we're going to turn just a little bit. You can see he is struggling to hit us, and we are slowly closing the distance. Okay, he just went through our bow. That's not preferable. That could be a problem. That could be a real problem. We want him to shoot the belt. 7.8 kilometers. I hope we can catch him quick enough. Like, if he shoots the belt, we're fine. If he shoots the bow, we're in trouble. .7 kilometers. And again, it's going to come down to whether or not we can catch him. I'll probably speed this up for you guys, just so you don't have to sit here and watch as we slowly close the distance. .5 kilometers. Now, our torps actually have a range of 10.1, so we could technically torp this man from here. But we're not going to, because we want to make sure that we kill him in one decisive strike. No idea why we're not shooting our main guns at this point, unless we had a gun destroyed, which we don't. So, can you fire the guns, please? 7.1 kilometers. He is capable of going through our bow, and we do have a fire on board because he's shooting HE. And remember, we have minimum bulkheads and all the things. But this is good. He's actually started going full broadside, so he can't shoot us anymore. He has decided to come straight at us, which is good. This is his worst possible idea. But we also have to be aware, if we get rammed here, he's probably going to kill us. So we cannot get rammed at any cost. Let's go ahead and start turning. And normal. That is a huge amount of torpedoes. And that took all of his freaking health. And remember, we got torps on the other side as well. Come on, baby. Launch. 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 Hello? Why are these torps not launching? There we go. That should be him dead, because there's no way he avoids that. Oh, shit. He's coming in to ram. Slow down. Throw it in reverse. Oh, this is not what we wanted. Dude! No! Okay, we killed him. We killed him. All right. Woo, that ram about killed us. Look how close we just came to dying. Oh, my God. He just said, screw it. You want to screw us over, we'll screw you over. GG's, man. We just killed 2,600 men. Ouch. He damn near killed us with that ram, though. Like, that was scary. But there you have it, folks. We had a cost of $50,411 and $600. Or $50,411,600 versus the $3,070,657,000 battleship. Is that going to be enough to carry us to the win? I don't know. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this challenge. I know I certainly did. It was an interesting challenge. And let us know if you guys got other challenges. And if you like what we're doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.